Hello everybody, welcome back to No Review Playthrough with Ryan again. We're here on part 2 of the campaign. So we have the app loaded up for the solo campaign. We've already done part 1. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and click on the icon there and check out part 1. So we're doing the solo campaign with the app for Clank Catacombs. So this is campaign driven, so it does save your thing. Now I don't think I got anything. It didn't say like keep anything from your previous deck or anything like cards purchased or anything like that. So I think we start over. I probably could do a new character, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and do the same character that I had before. I don't really mind too much of that. We've got off screen up here is all the dungeon cards and the damage track. I feel we don't really need to see a whole lot. I want to try and zoom in as close as we can with this. Hopefully, where is it? There. Doing upside down backwards. There's the app. I had it in this corner before, and it kind of covered up my hands and so forth. So I think this got a better placement. I'll be definitely moving the map around a little bit. I think that's kind of the most important thing that you guys see. So I'll try and talk through as much as I possibly can. Now, I scored a little over 100 points on the last game, and it still only gave me like a C- rating. So I'm not quite sure why that was. I thought it was a pretty good score myself, but we'll see if that affects anything that I have. So I have my Ryan campaign here. We're just playing on either, let's see, what was it? We're playing on just normal difficulty. And let's go ahead and see Chapter 2. So we have the experiments. At the wizard's urging, you went off to the big city, the capital. Unfortunately, it was bright and as loud as it was big, and it's no place for a bumpkin like you. Just as you're ready to head back home, strange things begin happening. Just as the wizard predicted, folks started going missing. People saw chilling visions wandering, strange shadows clattering through the streets. You want to explore these spooky happenings, but you're not sure where to start. Alright, so the map set up. Use the red side of the starter tile. Then set these with Crystal Cave artifact rooms. Okay, so I do need to find these. And I could have gone ahead and started this earlier to kind of bypass this, but I wanted to kind of make sure that people can see what the setup and so forth are for some of these. Crystal Cave artifact rooms. Okay, so it's crystal caves with artifacts on them. So I know it's a little bit extra time consuming for the video, but hopefully that also helps you get a sense for what it is like when you have to play the game. You don't necessarily know everything right off the bat of how to set it up. Okay, so I think there's just those 3 tiles. Okay. Okay, it just says set aside, so I don't think I have to worry about their orientation right now. Okay, so we'll set those aside over here. And I probably need to do something else with the starting tiles, I bet. Deck setup. Shuffle the 3 Crystal Cave artifact tiles with 7 depth tiles. Okay. Then place on the stack. Then place 4 safe tiles on the top, removing the safe tiles to the box. So we're going to get 7 depth tiles. Just shuffle these real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so I probably will not need those, but I can set those aside there. Okay, shuffle the, okay, so here's the ones with the Crystal Cavern artifacts. Shuffle the 3 Crystal Cave artifacts plus 7. Okay, so that's a total of 10 tiles. Alright, so let's shuffle these up. Alright. Okay, and then we're going to take 4 of the safe room tiles. Return the remaining safe tiles to the box. So there's 4 of those. Alright, there's the box there. So I think we did that shuffle the 3 Crystal Cave artifact tiles with 7 depths. Place them on the stack, then place 4 on top of the stack. Return. Okay, so I think we're good. Alright. So I've got the separate extras I'm going to set off to the side just in case we need those, but it sounds like we probably will not. Set those off to the side. Place 3 of your cubes. Okay, you can't see this, but I've got a clank area off to the side up here. We'll set those, and then 3 of your rival cubes. Now, in the last game, didn't really see the point of having the rival cubes because he just died off and didn't do anything near the end, but we'll place 3 of them in the clink area as well. I'll probably need more of these, so I'll keep that handy. Put that over here. We'll go there for now. Okay. All right, so we've got that. The rage is set up for 2-player. It is up here. Okay, even though you can't see it, again, I'll describe. We're pulling 3 cubes. At this point, set aside these cards and tokens. Okay, so I do need to search. So last time, there's the skeleton priest. I think there's 2 of these, so it doesn't really... Oh, there's another secret tome from my last game. It wasn't real specific. Skeleton warlock. I don't know if I'm supposed to pull both of them. It just said set aside skeleton. So it does set, I think, because before they were just become like guards in a room, like one of them. I think that's the idea, is you just have them real quick. Man, there's another secret tome. I didn't do any good pulling these out. What am I looking for? The priest. See, there's 2. Oh, there's a skeleton. Oh, skeleton, priest. Maybe there's only 1 of each one. Okay. Set aside those. Let me get my extra dungeon deck cards and reshuffle the stack real quick. Oh, well, we're here. Okay, so I need the Imp Familiar, Spectral Rider, which actually I have in the dungeon row already selected out, so I'll refill that. And the Scavenger. Okay. So the last game, these ended up being, again, kind of... see, there's another skeleton. Yeah. It doesn't say all of them. Imp Familiar and a Scavenger. See, there's another skeleton. It doesn't say pull. I think you're just supposed to probably have 1 ready to go. There's another Arch Overlord. Skeleton Priest. I think they just want to make sure you have 1 copy ready to go. There's the librarian that helped us last time. And what am I looking for? Scavenger. There he is. Okay, I guess before I shuffle that, let's see if there's any others. Okay. Alright, so there's the 3 set aside egg tokens. I will just, they're in my box right here all mixed up. I'll just, if I pull them out, I'll just not use those. So we don't use the dragon eggs, so I need to remember not to use the dragon eggs. Okay, so it looks like that's done. Okay, one day, poof, the wizard arrives. Have you found the tunnels beneath the city yet? Much of the strangeness in the city is coming from those tunnels. Go down there and find out what the big boss is up to. And find me an artifact to catalog. Bonus goals. For this game, you have extras complete. Extras are optional objectives. You unlocked extras during the chapter. If you complete them, you'll receive additional bonuses to your grade. Okay, so this is my dungeon deck. I just have this nice little holder here so they don't fall over while I'm doing it. And we need to replace 1 of the dungeon cards from the Spectral. Oh, I had a Scavenger up there too. Alright, so there's these cards. We're going to set those off to the side as well. Boom. Continue. Okay, so once I move on to a Crystal Cave artifact, I hit there and steal an artifact. Okay, so I need to remember, let's see, when I hit this, instructions for the app. When you complete your turn before refilling the dragon roll, yeah, I hit the next button. Okay, so the next turn I need to remember to do that. I'll set my phone off to the side on the little table here I've got and pretty much play as normal. Okay. Alright, so no, it'll still be a little hard to see with the glare and everything, but I'll try and describe the best what I have for you. And the idea is just basically to see what the gameplay is, not necessarily know what every card is, what every artifact is, just see an overall gameplay and see how the app works and helps out. All right, so we have right off the bat a stumble. We'll add that to the clank area. And actually, you know what? I'm going to move the clink area. Might as well move it down by me. I don't need the bags over here as well. Okay. So we have, so with my character, I can take these tokens when I buy a companion, then I can spend a token and put it right on my deck. So 4 times during the game, I can put a companion on the top of my deck instead of my discard pile. That's the advantage I have with the Agnet character. All right, so Crystal Cave, I get swords. I have companion, another companion in my area, so she likes to have companions. I get to draw lots of cards if I buy companions. Excuse me. So I have 1 boot, so we can go ahead and move to the next room. And I got 3 burgle bucks. So for $3, so the dungeon row has lots for that. Okay, I'm pretty much just going to describe the one I buy more than anything. So there's a thief. I can get a lockpick. Every time I play that card, there's a shadow walk with a boot on it. I can start trashing. I got 2 flamboyants in the thing, an underground river, and again a scavenger guy. When I get him, I can take a minor secret. Flamboyance is draw a card. If I make clank this turn, I get Burglebuck bonus for each clank that I'm making. I really don't want to make a lot of clanks, so I don't think I'm going to buy flamboyant. We will buy shadow walk for 2. That is 1 boot, and then I can trash or burgle. My player discard area, I don't want to do that yet, too early, but eventually that will be great to get rid of some of those as I buy cards that have more money on them. So the 1 is left. There's nothing in the row for 1. I will discard everything, and I'll hit the next button. Okay. No extra cards, so we refill it as normal. Okay. So we throw in, and we get a divining rod. And if I generate 6 or more Burglebucks, I can heal. That's really nice. Okay. I just have to get used to remembering to turn the app every turn. All right, so it's no surprise my next hand is pretty predictable. There's my extra clank card, or my extra stumble for clank. This is Inspire. When I end this turn, I can take one of my companions, put it on top of my deck instead of discarding it. So if I play a companion during that turn, I have Inspire, I can put it back on top of my deck, which I do not. All right, so I have an extra boot, which will throw me in this crystal cave. So the starting tile is very slow. They purposely don't want you moving off the first tile, I think, on the first turn with that crystal cave. And on the return journey, it really slows you down too. All right, so we've used a boot. Now I've got $4. I can afford just about anything in the row. Take a lockpick. That is nice. It is a companion. I do want companions. If you have another companion, draw a card. So if I take a lockpick every time I play this, then I can really do a lot. So I think I'm going to spend 3 of my 4. The only other one for 4 is the Divining Rod, which I'm not going to be making a lot of Burglebucks yet, so I don't want to do that. Now, any of these cards can disappear really quick with the app, so I just have to take that into consideration as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and spend a conscription token, and I'm going to put that on top of my deck, which is the only card. And technically, actually, when ending this turn, you may, well, this should have gone to the discard, so I don't think that would have applied. It says, put it in the top of your deck instead of discarding. When you buy a card, technically it goes to your discard. I spent a card or a token to put it here, so I don't think I can do that from now. Okay. All right, so I'll do that. Draw the one that I know that I just got. Two, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now before we refill, I didn't do any of those things on the top left. All right, so we remove these 2, so our flamboyance and the divining rod are gone. Where are we going to put these? I don't know. This game does take up a lot of space, especially when I'm doing the app here. All right, so we're going to refill this as normal. No Dragon Strike. I got a Thieves' Shrine. I got a Charlatan. And I got the Keymaster, a monster, so I can defeat him and take a lockpick. All right, so hopefully now... All right, so we have the Rebel Thief. We will grab a lockpick. We already start with 3 for the game. All right, so I've got a lockpick. All right, so I can trash or burgle. I don't want to do that yet. And I got to stumble again. Boom. So I've got a big collection of clank already over here. All right, so Shadow Walk gives me a boot. I do have a second boot, and if I'm in a crystal cave, I've generated 2 swords. So I am in a crystal cave. So I'm going to go ahead and defeat the Keymaster for 2. And when I do that, I gain a lockpick. Yeah, so lockpicks are going to be nice because I can, if more I have, I can move through obviously the locked tunnels easier, and I can unlock other various artifacts, or not artifacts, but secrets and goodies. All right, so I generated 2 swords from there. I got 2 boots, so I need to pick one of the 2 pathways. When you do this, you're supposed to designate which pathway to go to so that you encounter whatever is in that direct line of the path. So let's go ahead and go, I guess that's the left there. And we'll grab a safe tile here. And again, I can orient it pretty much any way I want as long as I can pass through that. There's no obstacles on that one. I can go right to the market, which is not going to help me too much. I could put that there and have a crystal cave with give me a money. I really don't want to do that because that's going to stop me for a turn. If I do this, I could move into I've got 2 boots, so I'm using 1 to move there. Since I've already generated 2 swords, I would have to take a damage if I moved there. Wouldn't be the end of the world, but I really don't want to start taking damage already. So I've committed to this side of the tunnel. So if I'm not going to move past the market, which I can't buy anything, if I'm not going to move down here, I don't see any reason why not just do this, I guess. Because I'm going to waste a boot anyways. The Crystal Cavern will make me stop, or do I want to gain a money? I guess if I'm going to go do that, I might as well put that one there and gain a coin as soon as I enter that. So we'll do that. All right, we gain one of my shiny metal coins. Sure, we'll put that there. Okay, so my second boot is wasted because I'm in the Crystal Cavern, and I've done everything from there. Okay. All right, so before I fill the dungeon row, nothing really happens between that next turn. Okay, we trashed these 2, so we lost the Thieves' Shrine and the Flamboyant, so you pretty much just have to go in accepting that whatever you don't buy is probably going to be gone. We'll go ahead and hit OK now before I forget and refill. Ooh, we've got the Brave Hero, a little bit of everything. That's a good card. It is expensive for 5. A sneak attack is 3 swords and some Mind's Clank. And we have a Darkened Alcove, our first Dragon Strike. So let's go ahead and dump all of our cubes in. And the Rival, definitely give it a good shake with all the neutral black cubes. And we're drawing 3 to start off with. I just grabbed 2. I don't like to overdraw, so I always... Okay, alright, I can put those over here. So we will add a damage that you cannot see. I'll keep track of the damage for you, make sure you understand. Okay, alright, don't pick up the whole deck. 2, 3, 4, 5, not quite the whole deck yet. Alright, well, that's not too bad. Okay, another Clank. Add some Stumble for Clank, so I'm just going to discard that. So I've used it, get it out of the way. 4 Burgle. Okay, 4 Burgle Bucks and a boot. Okay, so I might as well do my movement. So we have 1 direction to go. Alright, so again, another Crystal Cave. If I do that, that's a monster. I really don't want to put that way. It doesn't really matter. I'm not moving again because I only have 1 boot. That would give me a secret. Again, there's so many options. You could spend all day figuring out which options you want to go, and that's the one nice thing about this versus the other game. You cannot plan out your movement like you could before. So if I do this, I either have to go here or I have to loop, and I can't really go that way. So let's go ahead, since I can't move again. I kind of want to get to that. There's a treasure chest here, but couldn't get to it this turn anyways. Let's do this, I guess. Now if I've played this a couple times, I'm trying to figure out, I know I have to get back to here eventually, so am I going to be looping around here and get back, the one way? At least I can come this way. So I guess then my next turn I plan to go get that minor secret, I guess. Okay, so there's my 1 boot, $4. The Charlatan, discard a card to draw 2. I am definitely getting that. And since I bought a companion, let's go ahead and do that. Put that companion on top of my deck. And again, if I had played a companion, I could have put it on top of my deck, but I think I have to play it first. All right, I did not move on to Crystal Cave artifact tile. Okay, there's on the blue ones yet, so I know none of those will happen, and I did not steal an artifact. Next. All right, we're trashing this one only because I bought the second one. Refill, a curator, and another 3 thieves shrine. When it arrives, put 3 dragon cubes back in the bag. I only have 2, so we'll put those 2 back in the bag. Okay. All right, so that is done. Let's draw 3 of my cards and shuffle again. So right now I just need to get through these first 4 tiles because then I have a good chance of drawing an artifact tile pretty quickly. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so there's my Rebel Squire. If I have another companion, draw a card, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. Discard a card to draw 2 cards. Let's go ahead and discard a Burgle to draw 2 more. Drawing cards in this game is the best thing you can do. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Pretty good trade-off. Not as much money, but I got other things. I am a Crystal Cave, so I can generate 2 swords. There are no monsters to fight, so I will defeat the piddly little goblin for 2 swords. Okay. Trash a Burgle. Still think it's a little early to do that. Most things in the market are pretty cheap, around 2 or 3. But I don't want to not be able to buy cards. I don't want to have to buy like explore cards that have 2 on it just so I can refill what I've lost, even though they do have a boot on it. What the heck? I don't think this game is going to be very long, to be honest. I think once I find an artifact and get out. So, all right, there we go. So I trashed that one. Okay. Okay, since I discarded it, I do not get that money off from there. So far I've only got 1 money, but I do have 3 boots. Got another Rebel Thief, so I can take another lockpick. Strange, I haven't needed. And if you have another companion, which I do, draw a card. Perfect. Oh, great. There's a Stumble, so add a clank. All right, that is taken care of. He's done his job. So I like moving these out of the way when they've kind of done their job. Okay, so I have 3 boots. So depending on what I draw, let's do the money first. So I got 3 to buy. Yeah, let's buy the sneak attack. 3 swords minus 2 clank. That's all 3 of my money. It is not a companion, so I can't do anything. So that's all my money. So boot, we're going to move on to here and grab a minor secret from the box. Trash a card. Okay, so we are definitely going to trash a Stumble. That Stumble out of here. Perfect. Okay, so that's 1 boot. So let's go ahead and move this to the discard pile. I've spent all my money. I got 2 boots left. So let's go ahead. We can only go one direction here. Still on a safe tile. That just means that at the end of the game I can still score. So there's a lock there. This is a question mark. That's a secret, so it's not an artifact. Oh, it's a safe tile anyways. There's no artifacts on the safe tiles. If I do that, let's go ahead. I've got plenty of lockpicks. So in this case, if I was playing the game and I did not have a lockpick, I could not put that tile there. I would have to put it somewhere else. But because I can, so as long as you can legally move through there, you can add it any way you want. So we're spending a lockpick, and technically I'm supposed to put that there to show that that's permanent and unlocked. And I get another minor secret, and we got another boot. We're going to hold on to that. I need to put somewhere I can remember I've got it. Let's put it right there. Okay, so that's 2 boots. So I can really only move one way, so I'll use my 3rd boot to move that farther on the tile. And we're still on camera. I want to make sure that we're still on camera at this point. Okay, perfect. We're all done. We hit the, oops, I keep forgetting that. Hit the next. So we trash 1, 2, the 3rd, and the 4th one. So these are trashed. This is just forcing lots of card draw on the dungeon deck to force dragon strikes. Okay, we got a Grand Theft, we've got Crystal Compass, and a Riot. So a little bit of everything. No dragon strikes, so we're safe so far. Let's go ahead and do this before we continue. And let's move on. 4 So I'm going to be drawing lots of cards because I have lots of companions. I got 2 companions that let me draw now, and my deck is still pretty small. So I'm going to go through a lot of my deck every turn. Except I'm going to stumble again. Okay, well, not a single boot. So the last turn I moved a lot, but this one's not going to let me move very much at all, obviously. Okay, so I only have 4. I'd really like the Brave Hero because they're a little bit of everything, but I'm 1 off from that. This one is 6 for Grand Theft. Take a lockpick or spend a lockpick to acquire a card in the dungeon roll. That's nice. So number 3 is a Riot, is an extra clank. If you have 3 or 4 prisoners, you may trash a card. That's just a little extra bonus. It is a sword and boot. I've got some good boots now. That's a 3. The Curator is 5. The Thieves' Shrine is 4. I get 2 money or trash 2 burgles from your play area or discard. Let's go ahead. There's really nothing I want to buy for 4. I just said everything was cheap. Now it's all expensive. So this was the only one really that I could afford. Or the Riot, which I'm not too keen on, to be honest. So let's go ahead and do the Thieves' Shrine. That automatically gives me 2 money. And of course these metal coins are not part of the original game. Alright, so we'll do that. Next turn. Okay, this wants me to trash the one I just bought. I have to trash the Curator now. Draw a card for each artifact you have. That could have been pretty good. Mostly would have been 1 card, but... Okay, a Bandit has 1 of every symbol, and then a Crystal Kobold, which is a Dragon Strike. So I'll add my 3 cubes and draw 3. So far I have no wounds. There's going to be a wound there. And 1 for each one of everything. Alright, so we'll put the black up there. We'll wound the rival. I will wound myself. 4, 5. Alright, okay. Alright, Rebel Squire again with the Rebel Thief. So companion lets me draw a card. Take a lockpick. It seems really overpowered right now. If you have another companion, draw a card. Okay, so now I have companions. I need to remember this. I can put one of these companions on top of my deck. Okay, so there's a Charlatan. Discard a card to draw 2. So I have to discard 1 that I have not played yet. 2, 3. Swords. This is a -2 clank. I have not generated any clank yet. If I go to a Crystal Cave, I can draw. So the swords seem kind of overpowered. If I draw 2 cards from what I have left, it's going to be either a Stumble or a Burgle, which will give me some money. I think I'm just going to keep this turn. I think I'm just going to keep it. I'll just keep everything. Okay. So this guy's done his job. I'm not really using the Charlatan's ability, except one of these can go back. I need to remember that. Alright, so there's some swords. If I do move through this tunnel that I cannot see, I can, what do you say? I can fight them. So 3 boots. Okay, I think I'm going to go on the downward tunnel. Or I guess I could go this way. And again, I'm thinking looping around. If I go this way, I could loop around this way. Let's go ahead and move this up. Okay. It's still visible. I'll try and keep as much map visible as possible. And we're going to move down this tunnel here. So the last safe tile. Okay. So we've got this big long room. I can go in here and grab a secret and move this way. My goal is to not necessarily expand way down to here. My goal is to kind of keep it tight-knit. Because last time, once I got that artifact, it was really rough getting out. Things started escalating pretty quickly. Okay, I can always move down here later if I want. So there's 1 boot. So I'm going to go ahead and move this because I've used it. And I think I'm just going to keep trashing. I don't have a lot of burgles now that I'm looking at my deck. I don't have a lot of money cards, so I don't want to do that yet. Okay, it is a minor secret. Okay, there's an egg. We're not supposed to use the egg. Okay, the puzzle box. I believe that is when I go to a way shrine, I can take something. If I go to a way shrine, return it and take a major secret. Yes. Okay. All right, so I've used 1 boot. I've got 2 left. Let's go ahead and shift over. If I go to the Crystal Cave, I can heal my 1 wound. The other boot is burned or wasted. That does give me two swords though if I go into a crystal cave. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Crystal cave, we will heal one. I just generated 2 swords, so I'm going to defeat the crystal kobold. Crystal cave or a way shrine defeat. I just got $2 with that. So that gives me a total of $4. So I'm going to buy the bandit. I'm going to use the conscription token, put him on top of my deck. All right, my last boot then is going to be wasted, but I can use Inspire to put one of my companions back on top. I'm going to put the charlatan back on top of my deck. I still have 3 swords. I've spent my money. 3 swords, so I'll defeat the pesky goblin again for another coin. And everything else is kind of wasted. All right, next turn. All right, we're trying. Oh, I just lost the rebel hero. Okay, but we're filling 4 cards. That's a lot. There's a dragon strike. 1, 3, 4. Arrive. All players get a clank. That includes the rebel player. Lie in wait. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more 6 cards. And another ogre merchant, which is dragon strike. All right, so we got 1 of each for us for this dragon strike. 2 and a 3rd. Oh, all blanks. It's not necessarily good because obviously once they're gone, then everything else is damaged. All right, so I know those are 2 companions. Let's do the over-under shuffle. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's do any card draws first. Okay, there's the rebel thief. Well, let's see. Let's do the bandit. He's nothing special. Oh, I was supposed to get when I bought him, a sword and a boot wouldn't have actually helped me. Okay, take a lockpick. It seems really powered at the beginning. Okay, if you have another companion, draw a card. All right, so we're going to do the charlatan, discard the stumble to draw 2. Nice, got a good little engine going here. Okay, sneak attack, if I do generate clank as a -2. And defensive position, if I'm in crystal cave, I just got another 2 boots. All right, so, or no, swords, excuse me. So I have 6 swords, wow. All right, so I'm going to defeat the ogre merchant. He has 4 swords. I'm going to take a silver coin because he is 5. Or if you're in the market room, you can take an market item for free. That's so nice. That is sweet. All right, 5 is a lot of money though. All right, so that used up almost all my swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 2 swords left if I need them. Maybe the goblin left. I'm only going to move. Well, I could move twice. Okay, so this guy's done his job. Let's move these. This guy did his job. This sword's pretty much done. I can count these 2 swords here if I need to. So I have $3 and 2 more boots. So let's go ahead and use 1 boot here. I will go ahead and move him over. Actually, he's got a burgle. Let's move this card. So I have $3 and 2 more swords left. Oh, and a boot. Let's take this path then. All right, so any of these tiles could have artifacts. This one does. All right, so if I want that artifact though, it's gonna, oh, duh. All right, I have swords, so I can defeat him. So we do is we go to the artifact stack that you put at the beginning. It's a little different than the other game because you don't know which tiles there are. You're supposed to take the first one. This is not the special one where we dig down through, so we put a few, or we put the one on top, which I haven't got any, so it's going to be the cheapest one on this game. Okay, so obviously I can take that or I could leave it. I think this game I'm just going to take it and probably get out. I'm probably just lucky that that happened to come up. All right, so let's go ahead then, and as soon as I take this artifact then, I need to, or I said move onto a tile. Okay, so I forget. Let's do this in order. So I moved onto a tile. All right, with the Crystal Cave artifact. Man, this text is small. You stumbled in the laboratory to see buzzing with energy. Everywhere skeletons were scrambling, shambling, bumping into each other and dropping equipment Vials, tubes, and beakers of strange liquid fill the room. In the center of the lamp, green and purple smoke rose from a shadowy chair. You tried to get a look at see what was in the chair, but you were spotted by a familiar skeleton. Place the skeleton near this tile. You cannot leave until you've defeated the skeleton. Okay, well, that's not going to be a problem. All right, I'll just put it there for show. So that is okay. So we are going to defeat the skeleton because it's only one. So defeat, I assume that I get his crap when I defeat him. So I'm going to take 2 gold. It doesn't say not to take his normal stuff, but that also means a clank. So we defeated him. Boom, he's gone. Defeat the skeleton. You've defeated me again. I've been promoted to a level 1 skeleton and it's still no good. I never would have been promoted without you. Big boss has a fancy robe, and with that the skeleton let out a gasp and left the land of the living again. Gain a minor secret. Hiya. A lockpick. Wow, great. When you move this tile, collapse it. Okay. So we're going to steal an artifact. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and steal this. Now, once I steal that, I will move the rage track up, but still only 3. You saw an old-looking scavenger with translucent skin picking through the room's rubble. He came alive upon seeing you. Good show. Well done, my dear clueless adventurer. So what have we learned? Oh, never mind all that. What do you think of my new avatar? It's great for finding secrets. Take it with you. This way I can keep an eye on you and catalog your finds. All right, so it says acquire the scavenger, so I'm assuming we just go ahead and put that in there. You know what? And it says acquire, take a minor secret. I'm going to take every advantage. Oh, great. A lockpick. Okay. All right, move on to a second artifact tile. Okay, so now I need to remember when I move off this tile, I need to collapse it. We just flip it over. It means I can't go back to that room. All right, I think I've done everything. I might have forgotten a sword. Well, I had 2 I used, so I cannot defeat the goblin. I'm pretty clear on that, I think. Okay, actually, before we do this, fill up next turn. 1, 2, 3, and the 4. So the Arch Overlord is gone and the Riot is gone. Dragon Strike from a darkened alcove, a Pillage, which is pretty good, and a Smash and Grab. All right. So we go ahead and put my clank in there. We're still doing only 3 cubes. 2 black, and another one for me. So I healed before, so I'm still only at 1 damage. I think I'm going to be pretty good for this game. Well, that was famous last words. Okay, let's go ahead and start then. So I'm just looking out for now on the app if I happen to move on to a second tile. And then when I move off there, we need to collapse it. So I need to move in the market. The goal is basically just backtrack right through here. Okay. I don't know what that noise is. My neighbor's starting up his car or something. Okay. Alright, so Shadow Walk, trash a burgle in your play area. We're going to go ahead and start doing this. I don't think I'm going to need to buy a lot of cards at this point. Alright, so that was in my trash in my area. For once I did not get a companion combo. Okay, so this companion is going to go back on my deck. So I got 2. So we're going to go 1. We're going to go in the market, spend some money. Spend 7 coins. Could get a backpack and maybe get a second artifact, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going to trade in 7 coins for a 10-point crown. Okay, so that was 1 boot. Let's go ahead and move this one. I think the safest thing to do is move this way and move on to this tile. Okay, so we did. There's a second artifact there. So I guess I could move back. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 5 money, so I don't have quite enough. So in this case, we're just going the next one down, which is the 10. Oh, this was supposed to be the 5. For some reason, my pile got messed up. So I was supposed to take the 5. That should be the 7. Okay. So we're going to move into here. So I'm going to spend... that has a gate on it. That is prisoners. And there's a number 2 above that. I believe that means I have to spend 2 lockpicks for that. I haven't come across that, I don't think. Oh, all of the prisons have to immediately. Oh no! When you pick a prison, immediately to free 2 prisoners. Take 2 random prisoners from the bank. Face up in your personal supply. Oh, you get 2, right? Okay. Okay. All right. I thought I picked. Okay, so I'm just gonna spend one of my minor secret tokens. And here's 1 prisoner. Here's a 2nd prisoner. All right. So this one is 5 points if I have 2 secret tomes at the end of the game. And it looks like this old guy, he's just worth 2 points because he's just happy to be rescued. All right, so actually, I'm going to take one of the lockpick tokens from the supply and put it there. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this in and get one of the small ones. Okay, same thing. Okay, so if I can make some money, I think what I'm going to do is get into here and go back and get this and then make my way up, because if I can get that extra artifact, a couple extra points. All right, so I'm going to use the Inspire to put this companion on top of my deck. Oh, am I going to buy anything? I got $4. Pillage. If you gain at least 3 money this turn, draw a card. There's a darkened alcove. I can remove 2 clank automatically. I didn't get any swords. I do have a monster here. The skeleton ape would give me a bunch of stuff, but I can't defeat him. I didn't get any swords, so I can't get any goblins. So $4. Smash and grab is 2 clank and draw 2 cards. That's pretty good. Yeah, pillage is rare, but it is 2 swords and a boot. The crystal compass was just draw 2 cards. I don't have to stop in crystal caves this turn. Oh, that's 6. I should maybe pay attention. I've only got $4. I'm not very rich. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the smash and grab. It's 2 clank, but it's 2 cards. Card draw is just one of the best things you can do. All right, we're going to put him on top of my deck. Shuffle, draw. Oh, okay, I was supposed to do this. I keep forgetting. Sometimes I forget I'm using the app. You entered a lab room similar to the first. A skeleton in ornate robes, the big boss, circles the room with a strange headless rider leading the skeleton in a terrifying chant. The same colorful energy is flowing from the chair in the center. It felt like their chant was somehow pushing the energy out of whatever was in the chair. You can talk to the rider or fight the skeleton priest. Okay, so put the skeleton priest near this tile. Resolve the text as normal. Okay, all players get a clank. It's interesting that that one says resolve the tile as normal. So maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Let's move my artifact over here. You can defeat the skeleton priest or spend 5 to talk to the rider. So we've got the skeleton priest or the spectral rider. You cannot leave this tile or stone artifact until you defeated the skeleton or talked to the rider. Okay, so you can defeat the priest, which is 2 swords, or talk to the rider for, I'm pretty sure that's 5. That number is so freaking small, even on my phone. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's a little bit better. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll just kind of put these over here. For now, I was supposed to collapse this room when I leave it. Okay. Let's see. Next turn, I need to do the dungeon row. You felt the dungeon rumble. Okay, that's not good. Remove those 2 cards. They are gone. And refill. There's a Dragon Strike, Shadow Walk again, and a Bard. All right. Yeah, things start escalating really quickly once you grab that artifact. 3 cubes still. All right, there's a 2nd damage for me. All right, there's 1 card, and we will shuffle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I need to defeat or talk. I think I'm going to defeat. I don't think talking to the rider, I'm going to get out a lot of money. All right, so I need. Oh, dang it, no companion. So I cannot draw a card. There's 2 clank, but I get to draw 2 cards maybe. Okay, there's a companion. So off of him, I'll draw a card, take a lockpick. Thought I'd be using more lockpicks, to be honest. Okay, and then if you have a companion, draw draw a card. Okay. All right. So I have the charlatan now. I can discard a card to draw 2. How much Murgle bucks do I have? I don't want to risk. Maybe I got 4 in hand. There's a 5, so I don't want to discard any of those. I don't want to discard my 1 boot. Let's go ahead. I'm going to do the charlatan. I'm going to discard. I got 2 boots, I guess. I am in a crystal cave. If I keep this, I can get 2 more swords. So let's go ahead and I'm going to discard. No, I just created 2 clank. So let's get rid of defensive position. Okay. That lets me draw 2 cards because of the charlatan. Oh, now I draw stumble. Why didn't I have that before? That would have been amazing. Okay. This has done its job. These have done its job. Let's play out the rest. So there's the stumble. Add a clank. So let's discard that just because I know there's a burgle. -2 clank. It's a good thing I kept that. 2. Okay, so there's 5 burgle bucks. Actually 6. So we're going to spend 5. Talk to the Shadow Rider. Okay, so I spent 5. I'm only going to have 1 left anyways. Okay, so, alright, I'll just keep that. While sneaking, you saw that this rider had a glowing energy in place of her head. Please, she whispered to you from her non-head, take me with you. The sacred stones. She must find her way. The stones are. She needs to find her way back. She seemed vacant somehow. There's a cacophony behind you as the skeletons begin fleeing the room. One of them was removing a sick-looking villager from his chair in the center. Acquire the spectral rider. Okay, so I'm assuming they just come into my thing. Discard the skeleton priest. Okay. Actually, we'll put him in the discard pile. And new extra added. When you move off this tile, collapse it. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do... Alright, so I've spent everything. I only have 1, so we're doing the next turn. End of turn. You spied the worst possible sight in the corridor ahead of you. Max Lightfinger, your rival. He sneers at you. Thanks for being here to take the fall for me again. Then he began to clank his weapon together and shout. Moments later, the largest foot you've ever seen, complete with bone-white skeleton claws. Man, I'm trying to read this. Flattened the tunnel to rubble. It took a long time before the walls seemed to stop shaking. Collapse the nearest square tile. Great. So I'm going to have to collapse this one, which prevents me increase the rage, and your rival makes 2 clank. So I guess that's his clank. Okay. Seems like it should be both. I'm going to look at the rules. There is something about clank. And then we're getting rid of these 2 cards. Okay, I think there's something about... Okay, he creates clank when all players do. He takes damage, first cubes, blah, blah, blah. So he has... So I don't... That was kind of strange, to be honest. Says made 2 clank, so I'm just going to add it to his. Maybe that's a good thing that it's doing that to his, I guess. I would think that it would be doing it for everybody. Okay, so I did that. Now I have swords, so I can defeat this guy, get 3 money. 3 money, 3 more burgle dollars, so that gives me a total of 4, but I also made 3 clank. Woo! Skeleton ape is noisy. I just collapsed the room, didn't I? Because I wasn't planning on buying anything. Okay. What's these? This is the bard. This is the bard, and it's on the floor. The bard and lion weight. If I'm at Crystal Cave, -2. This one adds clink. I really don't want to do this. So I'm going to buy 3, spend 3 for that. Okay. I'll buy that lion weight. Not too bad. Okay, so that's skeleton apes defeated. Okay. Because I want to get some more money. Okay, I already did the dragon, or this. Now I might do a strike. Nothing, nothing, and no strikes. Okay, I think I did all of that, and I just have to remember to collapse this room when I leave. So that means that I'm at least 1, 2, 3 tiles away. So I think the last artifact room is going to be the worst one if I draw that one. 4 and 5. Okay, so I got 2 boots. Take a lockpick. Okay, sure. I'll just take another one of these. Okay, companion here lets me draw a card. And it doesn't matter what order you play them in. If you ever have something that retroactively happens, it still happens technically. Trash or burgle, I can't. If I go to Crystal Cave, make swords. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this to the market. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to spend all 7 to get a backpack, which I can then snag the extra artifact maybe. I might not now. Okay, it's depending on what I can do. Okay, so we are going to move to this room here. I'm going to shove these over because I don't think I'm going to be going any time over there. Okay, we got plenty of room. So I'm moving on this tunnel here. And it's the artifact room. Okay, so now I do want to kind of place the tunnel. So this has a portal. I could jump up to here. And I could maybe sneak around to there. I think that's going to be the fastest route. Okay, so how this works, I'm pretty sure I move on. This portal is basically part of this room. So moving to here, from what I've read, the rule book, and then getting into another portal is not a whole separate move. I will double check. I'll read you what the rule book says. I will double check. But I think it believes moving into the room, traveling. An entire portal movement from one room, okay, one room through both portals and into the room requires only 1 boot. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's 1 boot to move there. That will give me 5 points from there. Okay, it means that I have to go around this route, but I think I've got plenty of lockpicks. I'm not obviously concerned there. Okay, so that was 1 boot. I have 3 boots technically, so we're going to move back into the market, which will not do me any good. And then let's go ahead and use the 3rd boot to find 1 more tile. Oh, this is supposed to collapse. Alright, so I'm not... If this wasn't collapsed, I definitely would have gotten that. Oh, there's an artifact. So this is the +1. So I look at the top, which is 10. I go 1 past that. And get the 15. So I could collect another one. Alright, so... I don't want to necessarily put that there, because I guess I can just go here. But I have to circle around. Oh, no, no, I chose my path. Yeah, that's why you have to choose that's why you have to choose the tunnel before you technically draw the tile. Is there a way I can move? Nope, I don't want to do... Well, that's just as bad. It's still 2 rooms. If I do this... Can I get to that artifact? I can go through easily there, but that creates a loop. Well, I can loop around there. Looks like it's still going to take me 3 or 4 rooms just to get to this tile, no matter what I do. At least here I can grab another artifact. Go my way, fight my way. Okay, I'm going to do that. All right, so we spend a lockpick. Okay, all right. I just moved onto a tile too. I just remembered the app. Take that, move the rage track now. I'm drawn 4. So I do need to do this. Another one. This final lab has yet another experiment. The light was flowing from the center into the skeleton's glowing staff. This is yet another skeleton in a fancy robe. He had a strange bat-like pet. Sneaking to the center of the room, you found a villager strapped to the chair, skin misting to purple and green smoke. You can defeat the skeleton warlock or talk to the bat. Okay, so here's the bat and the skeleton warlock. Okay, put him there, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm going to have to do one or the other. Okay, I have 5. I have not spent anything yet, so let's go ahead and spend 5 now. No, he's not the big boss, but he is a bad boss, and I am his familiar. At least I can find someone new to bond to. You must be thinking of the Viscountess. Hey, you seem like an eligible adventurer. Why don't you take me on as your familiar? I can help you understand the Viscountess's experiments, and all you have to do is show me a little bit of excitement. Acquire the imp familiar companion. Discard the warlock. Boom. When you move off this tile, new extra added. So I need to escape. Okay. Alright, so I pretty much spent everything. I moved. Yeah, because I went 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used all my movement. Okay. Yeah, this one, there's a lot to manage. 2, 3, 4, 5, and trying to keep a little bit of the order of what you're doing. So I really need swords. Okay, perfect. Well, there's a clank. I've got a lot here. Okay. Oh, I needed to do next turn. 3 of these are gone. Okay, Keymaster again. Smoky Quartz with a Dragon Strike on it, and then an Expert Guide. Alright, so I gotta put all this crap in. I only have 2 wounds, so it's not too serious, but I am up to 4 cubes now. 2, 3. Ooh. Ooh. Ouch. Should have kept my mouth shut. That hurt. Okay. Alright, well, luckily pretty close. There's a stumble, and we'll discard it. If you're on a haunted tile, I am not. -2 clank. If I get another one, I can remove one. Okay, so 2 boots. I've got 4 swords. I need 1 to go through here, and then 1 to go through there. Okay, well, let's make sure I got the boots. Let's slow down here. Okay, so 1. I'm using the second one to move into this room. Okay, so I'm safe. All right, and then I got to collapse the tile when I move off. Okay. That has a monster in it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so a way shrine, I put a cube here, and I collect a coin for every way shrine I've donated to. And we collapse this behind me. Okay, so I use 2 boots, pretty much all my swords. 2 of the 4 swords, I guess. 1, 2, so I got 2 swords left. Keymaster, I'll take another lockpick. That's not going to give me any benefit. I'll defeat the goblin for 2. Okay, nothing special. I have 4 burgle bucks. One of my prisoners said to have 2 tomes. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm only at $4. So now I'm just kind of looking at maybe cards that might give me some points at the end. Smoky Quartz. It is. I add 2 clank when I get it. I -2 when I do it, but I also get to draw a card. Let's. Now I'm too close to the end. That could be dangerous. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only got 5 away from death. If I pull another 3 or 4, and they're all mine. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Everything else is really only like 1 point. And the more cards I buy, the more chance of a dragon strike happening, so I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, next turn. 1, 2, yeah. I would have bought this one that's getting discarded anyways. There is always that possibility. Nothing, nothing, and nothing. This hasn't arrived. Each player alone on a square tile must rotate in a new orientation. Oh, I hate this. I just need to get out of this room. That works. Okay, that still works. Same thing. Okay. Okay. Oh, I have no boots. No boots. Okay, so we're going to play the Rebel Squire with the Charlatan, draw 2 cards. It's always the worst to get to the end and have no boots to draw. What am I discarding? I'm discarding a Burgle. Okay. To draw 2. Oh, great. That didn't happen either. Clank. Smash and grab plus 2 clank. Draw 2 more cards. Okay, there's boots. Take a lockpick. I'm not going to bother, to be honest. If I have another companion, draw a card. Take a lockpick or spend a lockpick to draw 2 cards. Perfect. Okay. But it's a crystal cave, so I guess it doesn't really matter how many. I just drew 3 boots. Okay, that is done. That is done. That is done. These 2 are done. These are, well, they have stuff on them, I guess. Those don't have anything on them. He has nothing on him. Okay. All right, so here's what I've got. Okay, so I've got 1 boot. Trash a Burgle, we might as well. Okay, use this boot. We're going to use the lockpick to unlock this room, or this tunnel. Go into here. If you're in a crystal cave, minus 2 clank. Okay. What? Oh my gosh, why do you do this every time? Just get in the fridge and dig it out.
Because it's my house too.
I just noticed the map is off center. So we're back to our start here. Doesn't really matter too much, I don't think. The dungeon is crumbling to pieces. All right. So I wish I had a not wait Crystal Caverns. Okay. I am a Crystal Cavern, so I have 2 boots, or 2 swords, so I'll defeat the goblin. I have 2 more. There's no monsters in a row, so I'll do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 off from buying a secret tome. There's really everything in the market's only 1 victory point at the end, so I don't want to do that. Dang it, all those boots wasted. Okay, so I need at least 2 boots on this next turn to get out. All right, trash these 3. Okay, arrive, rotate each square on any player. Okay, luckily I'm not on, this is not considered a square tile, so I do not have to do that. A skeleton and a dragon strike, dang it. Okay, 1 cube's going in, it's not the end. All right, I am pulling 4 cubes. There's 2. Ugh, come on now. Ugh, jeez. And 1 for the, so he's up to 3. I am 3 away from death, which should not happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly 5. Okay, perfect. All right. I am not on a haunted tile. 2 burgles, a sneak attack, minus 2 clank, which I don't. Companion can go on top, which I don't have. All right, so luckily I have 2 boots, boom, boom, and I escape. All right. Escape. All right, so artifacts. We are going to score. I got the bananas and the ring. Bananas and the ring. Now, last time I forgot to count my gold points. Just added a couple, it added 1 letter grade to my thing. Total. Okay, so let's take these. So the lock picks will do nothing. Okay, so I like to do this. Oh, I had a way shrine. That was way back here. That would have given me a major secret. So let's randomly pull a major secret. Okay, there's a 7-point. Good. Okay, so starter, 2 points. 1 point, 2 points, starter, 1 point, starter, 1 point, 2. I've noticed that the cards in this game seem to be way cheap, not as expensive or not as pricey on victory points. All right, so I like to do this just because I count in tens. All right, there's 10 points there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Another 10 points. 2. That's 10 points by itself. 2, 4. So I don't think this prisoner gives me anything because I think I have to have two tomes to score 5 points. Okay, so that's 4. That's 9. 14. Okay, so I can come back to that in a second. All right, so 10, 20, 30, 35. And there's 40. There we go. 40, 42, 44. That's not looking very good. Plus my gold. See, it didn't have, the old app used to have your gold afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 49 points of gold. This is not going to be good. D-. Good grief. What did they must want you to spend all the time in the dungeon. Okay. D-. Great. Poof. Your uncanny wizard arrived right on time. Congratulations on making it alive. Things were much smoother down here than I expected. Did you find out who the big boss is, or the Viscountess? I told you there's a mystery here, and I'm trained you precisely for this moment. The only Viscountess you could think of was the regarded Viscountess Bossman. Well, that's ironic that we think that she's the boss. That's weird. Trusted King Vizier of the King. You dismissed that notion from your head and began to plan how to run background checks on all the royalty of the land. Alright, so I'm just going to quit to the main menu. Alright, well, I guess the grades don't really matter too much. Oh, I had a boot right there. I guess the grades really don't matter too much. You're not getting benefit points or anything. You're just, I guess, seeing how good of a score you can get. Alright, so yeah, it's just a little bit of keeping up. You just have to kind of make sure that, remember that the app has certain things. As soon as you do those, you're supposed to, obviously get on a tile, take an artifact. There's a little bit of order. I don't think it makes a massive difference with that, but I think I just got really lucky that, there's only 5 tiles left anyway, so I think the goal is that you hit those 3 artifact tiles pretty easily, pretty quickly as you're going through the dungeon, so I think it's pretty laid out. So this is pretty nice. It's a little bit better than just the random one from the old game where, you could play it randomly and it was different every time, of course, but I kind of like the idea that there's a slight story, there's a slight setup here, you take some of the cards out, there's a little bit of a story to that, and but it definitely makes playing Clank by yourself very easy and very nice to do. So hopefully you appreciate the video. If you did, give it a like. I appreciate any support that you can give the channel, and we'll see you on the next part. Bye-bye.